To be herbivores or omnivores, that's the question. Being a vegetarian has plentiful benefits to it. Many have reported that they felt more energetic, not only physically but also mentally, as Mr. Mahara states. Many Americans want to go on a diet, but it's really hard to get into. After a long day of work, we just want to go home, sit in front of the TV, and relax, and just not worry about anything. Eating healthy and exercising is very important to our lives. We see infomercials about how awesome certain diets are if we order their package of food and we can lose all this weight, or how cool some machine is and how easy it is to make us look good. Looking at some of the food though, it looks disgusting and it probably doesn't taste that good either. Besides, you may truly not know what the food really is, what kind of chemicals are in it. Even though you're losing the weight, what harm are we doing to our body as we take in pesticides that we don't mean to digest? So why should you turn into a vegetarian? Well, I will tell you why. As Erica Fudge states, most vegetarians are so for ethical reasons, but the ethics do not, of course, sit apart from what might be termed the taxonomic argument. Rather, ethics and the question of borders are absolutely inseparable. Having a sense of animal suffering, which is what most vegetarians base their ethic choices on, is engaging with the question of boundaries. Fudge here is also talking about your health. Americans suffer poor health because of their poor eating habits and dietary habits. If you don't want fat on your body, cut the fat intake. Cutting meat out of your diet is the best way to reduce that. The majority of the cows eat foods that fatten them up so farmers can make more profit off of them. Pesticides and harmful substances that are given to these animals is something that you're consuming while eating meat. Stated in the Vegetarian Time magazine, the EPA estimates that nearly 95% of the pesticide deposit in a typical American diet comes from meat, fish, and dairy products. Fish, in particular, contain carcinogens and heavy metals like mercury, arsenic, lead, and cadmium that can't be removed through cooking or freezing. The health department at Brown University also says that meat and dairy products can also be laced with steroids and hormones. If you're worried about not being able to get enough protein or iron, there are pills you can take. Reed Mangels also says that green vegetables such as kale and collards supply iron and calcium. Too much iron can lead to many things like diabetes, heart disease, and a higher chance to have cancer, which most Americans sadly suffer from as well. Taking meat out of your diet will definitely lower your cholesterol. When we eat meat, we don't eat it plain. We tend to marinate it and add all this stuff to it, and even after we marinate, we add still salt and pepper, which shoots up our sodium level intake. Taking a look at all the vegetables and fruits in the world, each and one of them have their own individual taste, their own natural sugars and vitamins. For the most part, they're pretty good. You can mix and match to make smoothies without adding extra sugar. When shopping for vegetables and fruit, it's preferred to pick organic since non-organic can have traces of pesticides and chemicals. Plus, organic food is said to taste a bit better, but organic food is a bit more expensive. Another great reason for people to become a vegetarian is that more food can be eaten if the land was used for plants. With what I'm about to say, Mr. Mahara also agrees. You can have a couple of acres to put your cattle on, or you can grow wheat and feed the double amount of people. If all the grain currently fed to livestock were consumed directly by people, the number of people would be fed would be nearly 800 million, says David Pimentel, a professor of ecology at Cornell University. Mr. Mahara also says that vegetarianism also improves the health of the planet. Ecologists and environmentalists are concerned about protecting the living creatures on Earth. There are many reasons as to why a person should become a vegetarian. It can be economic and world hunger issues, or for the animals, and maybe for the environment, or it could just be for your health in general. It's much healthier to become a vegetarian. You're gaining more from it anyways. You can add about 13 years to your life, says Michael F. Reason. So I gave you really good examples or reasons as to why you should become a vegetarian, so you should try it, even if it's for a week, just to see if you like it and feel better about yourself.